multiple outlets are reporting that Andrew Cuomo, the governor of New York State, has been sexually harassing his secretary for years. According to the New York Times, the former aide accuses Cuomo of sexually harassment. So her name is Lindsay Boylan. Lindsay Boylan, who's now running for Manhattan Borough President, said that the governor would often discuss her physical appearance when she worked with him. She continues, I would never anticipate, the article continues. She says, quote, I would never anticipate what to expect, whether I be grilled in my work, which was very good, or harassed about my looks. Lindsay Boylan, the former aide, wrote on Twitter. Or would it be both in the same conversation? Now, multiple media outlets reached out to her. She declined further comment. She has another tweet, which I'm going to put on screen for you. And this tweet says, I tried to quit 3 times before it stuck. I worked hard my whole life, hustled. Fake it till you make it style. That environment is beyond toxic. I'm still unwrapping it years later in therapy. And, she tweeted about how working for Cuomo was the worst job she ever had. And Cuomo responded. He said, quote, look, I fought for and I believe a woman has the right to come forward and express her opinion and express issues and concerns that she has. But these allegations, it's just not true. So that was his official statement. Also, his publicist came out with a statement saying that it wasn't true, and I don't know, man. To be honest, I don't know what to believe. On the one hand, it seems like more and more men who are in power are getting exposed for sexual harassment. It's almost like sexual harassment is policy in government. Whether you had Donald Trump's allegations, Joe Biden's allegations, Kavanaugh, and now Cuomo, it's like this stuff is almost to be expected. But again, I'm not saying that Cuomo did it because these are just allegations, and outside of this one isolated incident, no one's came out to accuse him of any type of sexual harassment. I think it's also important to note here that she accuses him of sexual harassment verbally. She doesn't say anything about physical abuse. She more so talks about him making comments about her appearance. Now, we're not sure what that means. That can mean everything from, hey, you look nice today, or I like that dress, to, oh, you should lose more weight, or or nice assets. Trying to keep this clean here. It could be anything. We don't know. And she's not reaching out to the media for comment. Now, I did notice on Twitter, a lot of people were saying things like, oh, you're just as bad as the abusers because you didn't come forward and other women could be getting abused. And that's all nonsense. That's nonsense. Complete nonsense, You cannot tell somebody, if in fact she was sexually harassed, you cannot tell somebody when they should come forward. And now asking someone why they didn't come forward, I think that's a valid question. But there's a way to do it. Like, oh, what made you feel like you couldn't say this earlier? Do you feel more comfortable saying it now? It's better than saying, if this was going on for all these years, why didn't you tell someone? I think that's a very cynical approach and very insensitive approach to, someone who's making these claims. But, I don't know, man. I mean, on the one hand, I could totally see this happening. This type of stuff happens all the time. On the other hand, despite the fact that I do not really like Andrew Cuomo very much, this does not seem like something that's been in his character and certainly not something in his track record. He does have a strong track record of advocating for women's, rights and, against harassment of this kind. And matter of fact, even his aide, Miss Boylan, said that he was, at one point said he was a great advocate for women. Of course, if she was being harassed, maybe she just did it because she felt like she had to. I really don't know. But it's going to be interesting to see how the story develops. Also interesting to see if anyone else comes forward or if this is an isolated incident. And I'm just going to keep track of it as it goes on.